She had wanted something that would change everything, an open relationship with her best friend. But instead of understanding, I walked away. And now, she's left reeling, shocked by the fact that my girlfriend and her best friend have been friends for nearly their entire adult lives and have shared intimate experiences with past partners. I had no idea. It was only a week ago that my girlfriend casually mentioned it in passing, just before asking me if I'd be open to the same arrangement. Maybe this is where things went wrong, but my response was immediate. A flat-out no. I'm a monogamous guy through and through. The thought of being shared, or sharing my partner in that way, it repulses me. I don't see it as immoral, I just know it's not for me. Apparently, my girlfriend shared my response with her best friend, and now the best friend feels slighted. And my girlfriend? She wants me to apologize. But where's the wrongdoing? Perhaps I could have been more careful with my words, but I didn't exactly have the opportunity to explain myself to her best friend, did I? There's been a lot of back and forth, but the majority of people think I'm not in the wrong here. Update, March 11th, 2024. 2 days later, I felt it was time to update everyone. After the advice I received, I had a serious conversation with my girlfriend. I told her that I wasn't sorry for my decision or my reaction. And I made sure she understood it wasn't about her friend at all. The truth is, it wouldn't have mattered who suggested it, my answer would have been the same. Then it hit me, something none of us had considered. What if her friend asked for a threesome with my girlfriend's boyfriend? Her friend's single now, so it's not a current concern, but I still asked. And you know what? My girlfriend said she'd be fine with it. She said the past boyfriends were cool with it, so why wouldn't she be? But after seeing how I reacted, she realized I wouldn't approve. Then, she asked why I didn't want a threesome with 2 women. I told her, bluntly, I don't want to be with anyone but her. She hesitated, tried to dodge the question, telling me they were just fun and it had become a habit. But I pressed her. Is this something you need to be satisfied? I asked. She still wouldn't give me a straight answer. That's when I realized our sexual needs were worlds apart. And that's when I ended things. I can't help but feel sad, out of everything, it was this. My refusal to share my intimacy with anyone else. But I knew I couldn't compromise on that. Not now, not ever. As for some of the comments, no, her best friend wasn't unattractive. And now, some of the most asked questions, how did she react when I ended things? She was upset, confused. She said, it doesn't make sense for a guy to turn down sex with 2 girls, and even less sense to break up over it. To her, it was a no-brainer. To me, it was everything. I'm a demisexual. I only feel sexually attracted to people I'm emotionally connected to. Does that mean I avoid relationships with other women? No, it just means I'm not going to act on an attraction unless it's tied to something deeper. It's not about cheating. It's about connection. And the most common response I've received? You're not the a-hole. And you know what? Who knew that rejecting a threesome could lead to a breakup? But hey, to each their own. And for me, it's about sticking to one partner, one connection. It's my principle, and I'll stand by it. It's better to be alone than to compromise on what matters most. Next, a woman, 38, struggles with the fallout of infidelity and the confession that could shatter her marriage forever. I didn't want to push him. I was so nervous, unsure of what might happen next, but as he finished watching TV and stayed in the living room, I knew I had to talk to him. I approached him, voice steady but heavy with the weight of the conversation to come. We need to talk, I said. His response came without hesitation, his eyes still fixed on the screen. What do you want? I'm watching TV. I could feel the frustration building in my chest, but I kept my calm. It's important, I insisted. He waved me off, asking if it could wait. I didn't know what to do. My heart pounded in my chest, but I walked away, trying to control my emotions. An hour passed, then 2. Still, no sign of him. I went downstairs, my mind racing, and that's when I noticed the door was closed. He was gone. My stomach dropped, and I immediately called him. Where are you? I asked, trying to keep the panic from creeping into my voice. I went to my friend's house, he answered nonchalantly. Why would you just leave when I said we needed to talk? I couldn't help the sharpness in my voice. His response was casual, almost dismissive. Geez, relax. We can talk later. That was it. I couldn't handle it anymore. I hung up and started packing. The years of being ignored, of feeling like I was speaking into an empty room, had worn me down. I was done. My best friend, who had been there through all of this, had even tried to talk to him for me. She knew everything, and now she was offering a solution. If I needed, I could move in with her. It seemed like the only way forward. I wasn't sure where this was headed, but it was my only option. My husband came back while I was still packing. His first words when he saw what I was doing, "What the hell is your problem?" That was the moment everything snapped. I didn't realize just how much anger and resentment had built up inside me until now. I don't yell, but as I stood there, I felt a surge of rage. I'm effing done. I'm done being your effing roommate. I'm done begging you to show me affection, done begging you to talk to me, done trying to fix things alone. His voice was calm, almost mocking. Geez, you're so dramatic. Heaven forbid I relax for a bit. All you do is relax. I shouted. That's fine, don't worry about it, I'm not bugging you anymore. God, what's your problem? He stared at me, unfazed. Don't worry about it. You never worried about it before. I've been lying next to you, crying my eyes out, begging you to give a damn, to just hold me, kiss me, hug me, hell, F me consistently. I've begged you to go to counseling, to do something to show I'm not in this alone. But no. And now? Now you care? Because I found someone who did what you were supposed to do. His face twisted into something I didn't recognize. The screaming match continued, a back and forth of accusations and pain. I handed him the letters I had written, but the words didn't feel like enough. They were just paper. The damage was already done. My best friend arrived during the chaos, her presence a small relief amidst the storm. She grabbed my bags and didn't say a word. We left. As we drove to her place, I kept shouting, my emotions spilling out with every mile. When we finally arrived, I fell to my knees, overwhelmed. This isn't what I wanted. I screamed over and over. This isn't what I wanted. I couldn't stop. My heart ached, and all the memories of the good times, the love we once had, came rushing back. Why had things changed? Why did it have to be like this? But as much as I wanted things to be different, it was too late. The marriage was dead, and I had a part in its death. Hope? It was always about hope. That stubborn, unrealistic hope that things could change. That maybe, just maybe, we could get back to where we once were. I held on to it for so long, even though I knew deep down it was gone. But leaving? It wasn't that easy. I stayed because I wanted it to work. I stayed because I was afraid of the unknown. I stayed because it was easier than confronting the truth that things weren't going to get better. My best friend just held me as I cried. She didn't say much, just let me be. She let me feel it all. I was exhausted, emotionally drained. I fell asleep, still shaken, my mind racing. But there was no coming back from the things I had said, from the decisions I had made. The next morning, I went back to get the rest of my things. He made some offhand comments, but I ignored them. I wasn't there for a fight anymore. I just told him I would be staying with my friend permanently. I would still pay my half of the bills, but everything else was done. You're probably going to stay with some guy, he said, trying to get under my skin. I just replied, whatever, bye. And just like that, I walked away. Looking back, I should have left a long time ago. I should have walked away before it got this bad. But leaving is never as easy as people make it sound. It's easy to say just leave when you're not the one in the situation, not the one caught in a web of hope and guilt. This was supposed to be forever. But forever doesn't always work out the way we plan. So here I am, sharing my story, hoping it helps someone else who might be stuck in a similar place. Community feedback. One commenter shared their thoughts, I get it. Leaving is hard, and most people cheat because it's easier than facing the truth. But the affair partner? He's still married. You've created a mess. Now, everything's out in the open, and it's time to take responsibility for your actions. Another person weighed in, suggesting, what you did wasn't right, but him brushing you off. That's just as bad. You're both better off apart now. Try to move forward. Someone else said, I get that it's easier said than done, but this conversation you had should have happened long before the affair started. Now you're carrying that cheater label, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's clear that there are no easy answers here. This is messy. It's painful. And no matter where you stand, it's impossible to avoid the truth.